Dick Warden's colours. Though he hit the ground last time, he's basically a sound jumper, and he's a good horse, you know. Lorcan Wire in the plate here. He's drifted 2 points from 10 to 1. But I do like Antinous. He had every chance when falling 2 out in the race won by Cashew King. That was at Nottingham on his last outing. But he'd set up quite a sequence before that, and he's won 4 races this season. Number 6 is For the Grain, standing looking at us. This is the horse of Mr. Jim Joles, and he beat Royal Pavilion by a good 7 lengths at Newbury, and that was on heavy ground. Now previously, well, he'd just been struggling to get back in the winner's enclosure. He'd had 2 seconds there. I mean, that's no disgrace, is it? But he looked a good horse last year when winning a sequence of hurdle races for John Wilson. And now that he's got into winning brackets, who knows? Can he continue it here? David Nicholson won this race a year ago, trains this one. Number 11 is the Musical Priest in the light colours there with the red hat. This one's only just behind Blitzkrieg at Punchestown last time out. And Tommy Carmody rides here instead of Charlie Swan, who was in most of your papers. 40 to 1 from 33s. I think that's rather generous. But the Arkle runners are coming in. The Musical Priest there with Tommy Carmody on board. Let's join Peter.
Yes, they're being called in. Blitzkrieg, the grey in the centre. Just moving over towards the stand side, just edging across a little bit. Celtic Shop, 4 to 1. Commandante, 4 to 1. 9 to 2, Young Snug Fit. 8, Cianonte, and they're running and racing towards the first. Very slowly away was in For the Grain. And they're all safely over the first. In fact, it was In the Breeze who was very slowly away. And Young Snugfit has taken it up. Young Snugfit jumps this from Guyvan's Nephew, who almost runs out. And Waterloo Boy is gone. Last year's winner's a faller there. Another coral, rather. Another coral has gone at the first last year's winner. At the second, rather, and Young Snugfit is the leader. From Mr. Point, who's now gone second. Then Guyvan's Nephew in third. Then comes Western Dandy with Celtic Shot on his inside, and then Commandante. Behind them, Cianonte. Young Snugfit lands in the lead from Mr. Point and Guyvan's Nephew. Commandante, Celtic Shot. Behind him, Western Dandy and Cianonte, then the grey Blitzkrieg, and then For the Grain. Behind For the Grain is the Musical Priest, and then Kaiichi and Antinous. And In the Breeze, who was very slowly away, is some way behind the remainder. Over the fourth, Young Snugfit lands clear, all safely over the fourth. Bar In the Breeze, who's only just jumped it and very nearly feathered it too. Young Snugfit the leader from Mr. Point in second, and Guyvan's Nephew on the inside. Cianonte and Commandante come next, with on the outside Celtic Shot, and on the inside Blitzkrieg. The grey over the fifth, and Guyvan's Nephew has gone and hampered the grey Blitzkrieg, who's lost quite a bit of ground in the process. Coming down to the water now, number 6, and Young Snugfit is the leader. From Mr. Point, who's second, Commandante third, Cianonte 4 on the inside. 5 then is For the Grain, 6 on the inner is Blitzkrieg trying to get into it. Celtic Shots on the outside, and then the Musical Priest over the first ditch, and Young Snugfit landed in the lead. A mistake there by Western Dandy. It's Young Snugfit from Commandante on the outside of Mr. Point. These 3 ahead of Cianonte, For the Grain, Blitzkrieg on the inside, Celtic Shot, the Musical Priest, then Kaiichi, and then Antinous. Racing now towards the final ditch, and as they do so, Young Snugfit has a 3-length advantage of on the inside Cianonte, on the outside Commandante. The leaders jump it with Blitzkrieg 4 and still going well. 5 is Mr. Point. 6 then is Celtic Shot. Antinous is getting a little bit closer. The Musical Priest is still well in contention. Kaiichi, the 5-year-old, is still right there too. For the Grain has dropped back a bit. They've got 3 left to jump now in the Arkle Challenge Trophy. Young Snugfit has made just about all the running so far, with plenty of them breathing down his neck, including Celtic Shot, Kaiichi on the outside, the Musical Priest, Commandante. Young Snugfit landed in the lead there from For the Grain. Very nearly went to that one, just recovered, but very nearly on the floor. Young Snugfit's the leader from the Musical Priest for Ireland, and Kaiichi for Ireland on the outside. Young Snugfit at the second last lands 2 lengths clear of the Musical Priest and Kaiichi. Then comes Commandante in 4, 5 Blitzkrieg, racing round the home turn, and young Snugfit with a 2 to 3 length advantage now under Jamie Osborne, and one fence left to jump. Kaiichi in the sheepskin noseband goes second just ahead of Commandante. Young Snugfit being chased by Kaiichi. Young Snugfit lands in the lead. Kaiichi second, Commandante third. Antinous has now moved into fourth. It's young Snugfit beginning to tie up as Commandante challenges. And it's young Snugfit from Commandante. Commandante beginning to get up as they race towards the line. Commandante has taken it up and is going to win it. Commandante has won it. Kaiichi is second and third. Young Snugfit in a photo, and for Antinous. Commandante has won it. It's a photo probably between Kaiichi and young Snugfit for second. Yes, the judges called it for him a second, with Antinous fourth and Blitzkrieg 5, but Commandante, number 5, owned by Mr. Morris E. Pinto, trained by Josh Gifford and ridden by Peter Hobbs, has won the Arkle Trophy, with probably Kaiichi just second ahead of the gallant but fading young Snugfit. These two in a photo for second and third, with Antinous fourth. But this is the winner, Commandante, an 8-year-old by Candy Kane out of Meekstown, trained by the former champion jump jockey Josh Gifford, now on the 47 mark this season, and the number 27 is for Peter Hobbs. A really storming finish by Commandante, as we can review the closing stages. But first, the fall of another coral, the 1989 winner, who went so early at the second fence.
Well, very early on in the race, another coral went out in the colours of last year's winner. Look on the inside rail, just about to jump now, and stumbles. It wasn't a bad mistake at all, but couldn't get his undercarriage out and paid the price. And so I'm afraid another coral out of the race. But as we went down the back straight, look for Guyvan's nephew. He's on the inside with a big sheepskin noseband and the white face, just about to jump. Now he clouted it and the ground runs away there. The Blitzkrieg jumps over the top of him, but safely negotiates that obstacle. As they came round the last bend, now it's this sprinter bred horse, young Snugfit, who heads for home, and the one thing about him would be his stamina, but here, well, you'd have bet your life on him, wouldn't you? Jamie Osborne's given him a beautiful ride, but a whole host of horses coming from behind. Now, Commandante's in the light colours, Kaiichi nearest to us, the Irish have got Blitzkrieg just fading, the musical priest who ran well, and Antinous in the green colours you'll see run on. What a great jump there at the last. You would think that Jamie Osborne had clinched the race there. Musical priest made a bit of mistake as he landed over that. Celtic Shot not so far behind there in 7th place. But this big Cheltenham hill that has changed results in the past does so again. Young Snugfit was a 6-furlong horse on the flat, produced to be at his best on the day, but I think it was the hill that undid him. Commandante stayed on beautifully under Philip Hobbs, and Kaiichi, who was only a 5-year-old, has run a blinder here. He's a very inexperienced horse over fences, but he runs on stoutly up the hill, and Antinous, who'd never been in it, runs a good race to finish 4th. But it was Commandante. Let's look at it from another angle as we see them head on. They've got one to jump, and watch this on the inside. Young Snugfit, as Jamie sees a brilliant stride and asks, look up, he says, and up he comes. Well, just looking a little bit further back, you can see that Celtic Shot certainly hasn't disgraced himself there on ground that's much faster than he would like. But there up front, young Snugfit just starting to